be subject unto him that put all things under him, that God may be all in all.
That God may be all in all. Now, Jesus has subjected everything, and now he's turned everything over to the Father. He got rid of all power, all rule. Last enemy he got rid of was death. Right. Let's go now to 2 Peter chapter 3, and we'll pick it up at verse 10. 2 Peter 3, and we'll pick it up at verse 10. 3 and 10. Okay. Go ahead and read.
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
Go ahead and read.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
Go ahead and read.
Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are you to be in all holy convocation and godliness? Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
In other words, Lord, and burn up everything. Go ahead and read on.
Nevertheless,
he says, go ahead and read.
We, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness.
He said, nevertheless, though, we, according to his promise, look for a new heaven and new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Let's go back now to Revelation chapter 20, and we're going to read the last of it and go right on into Revelation chapter 21. And we're going to pick it up. Well, let's pick it up at verse 12. Revelations 20 and 12. Okay, go ahead and read.
And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God.
Go ahead and
read.
The
books were open. And another book was open.
Now, when is this? This is after 1,000 years is over. He said, I saw them stand before God. Go ahead and read on.
Which is the book of life.
Go ahead and read.
And the dead were judged out of those things which was written in the books according to their works.
Go ahead.
And the sea gave up the dead which were in it. And death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them.
Go ahead.
And they were judged every man according to their works.
And when it said death and hell, that means in the grave. Gave up the dead that was in them. Go ahead and read on.
And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire.
That ended death. No more dying now. Go ahead and read on.
This is the second death.
That is the second death. Go ahead and read.
And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
Now, when is that? That is, I put it this way, at the end of the seventh day, right? That was the end of the seventh day. Now, we going into anything after that, you go into another day. What day do you go into now? The eighth day. Let's go into into chapter 21 and verse 1. Go ahead, go. Remember what we read in Peter. Everything was burned up. Wherefore we look for a new heaven and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Go ahead and read.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
See what it's saying? I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Now you've gone into something else happening. You got past the seventh day. Now you've gone into another day, and that is the eighth day, and that is what this eighth day of the Tabernacles is all about. Because you just had because the Tabernacles is about the gathering. And you just had the last gathering. What was the absolute last gathering? Those people that didn't wind up in the lake of fire. Those people that survived the great white throne judgment. That was the very last gathering now.
Praise the Lord.
And that's what the Feast of Tabernacles is about. It's about the gathering,
Praise
isn't
the
it?
Lord. That's
so
right.
now you going into another day. And what day are you going into? You're going into the eighth day. Because that ended the seventh day.
Right.
You had 6,000 years or 6 days God gave man. Then you had the 1,000 year that made 7 days, right? And now after that, at the end of that 1,000 year, you had the great white throne judgment. Death was gotten rid of and all of that. And he said, wherefore now we look for a new heaven and a new earth. Go on into, start reading at the top of verse 1 in chapter 21 again. Go ahead and read.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth.
Go ahead and read.
For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
Go ahead.
And there was no more sea.
And he said, and there was no more sea. The first heaven and the first earth was passed away. Go ahead and read on.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven.
Now, wait a minute. He said he saw it coming down, didn't he?
That's right.
Everybody got you going up. But John said, I saw it coming down from God out of heaven. Go ahead and read on.
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And look at who was in that city, though. Go ahead and read on.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying,
Go ahead.
Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them.
And you know who this is that's going to dwell with them? This ain't talking about Jesus.
That's right.
Because he said he got to reign until he put all power on his feet. The last power is death, he said, didn't he? And then he going to turn everything over to the Father at that time. So now you got the Father himself coming down to dwell with men. Go ahead and read on.
And they shall be his people.
And they will be his people. Go ahead and read on.
And God himself shall be with them and be their God.
Go ahead and read.
And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And there shall be no more death.
Go ahead.
Neither sorrow nor crying.
Tears said there will be no more death then.
That's right.
Neither sorrow or any crying. Death had been gotten rid of.
That's right.
You know, death was that was the last enemy that Jesus put down before he turned everything over to the Father. And now the Father himself have come down and dwelt with man. But that was after the 7th day. That went into the 8th day now. And that is what this 8th day is really all about. That is why it is called that great day. Go ahead and read on.
Neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
He said, neither will there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. He done made all things new now. Go ahead and read on.
And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new.
I make all things new. Go ahead and read on.
And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful.
Go ahead and read.
And he said unto me, It is done.
Go ahead.
I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. And I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of waters of life freely.
Now, go on, skip down to verse 21 now. Go ahead and read.
And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of one pearl.
Go ahead and read.
And the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass.
So now, you know, this is that New Jerusalem that John said I saw coming down, and the Father was in it, and God came and dwelt with man. Even the Father here, something that he ain't never done. You understand what I'm saying? At no time have the Father dwelt with man. The one that dwelt with man or dealt with man throughout the Old Testament, that was Jesus. Now the Father himself have come. That is why it is called that great day. Go ahead and read on.
And I saw no temple therein, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it.
Now you had them both in there, didn't you?
That's right.
That's why it said, and then God might be all and all. Did you finish that verse?
Yes.
Verse 23. Go ahead and read.
And the city had no need of the sun,
Go ahead and
neither
read.
of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of God did lighten it.
Go ahead and
and the Lamb is the light thereof.
Now, let's go and read. Let's go to John chapter 7, and we're going to pick it up at verse 2. John chapter 7, and we're going to pick it up at verse 2, and this will be last. This is what this 8th day is really all about here. It is about the Father's kingdom, when he going to come and he going to dwell with man. John 7 and verse 2. 7 and 2. That's why it's a solemn assembly. You see, because the Father is coming at this time.
Right.
You know, the rejoicing and the festivities and all of that, you know, that cease. Because now the Father himself is coming, and he's going to dwell with man. Start reading here at chapter 7, rather, and verse 2. Go ahead and read.
Now the Jews' Feast of Tabernacle was at hand.
So now we're dealing with the Feast of Tabernacles. That's what they was keeping here. And even Jesus was keeping this feast, and he's going to say something about this feast. Go ahead and read on.
His brethren therefore said unto him, Depart hence and go into Judea, that thy disciples also may see the works that thou doest.
Go ahead and read.
For there is no man that doeth anything in secret, and he himself seeketh to be known openly.
Go ahead and read.
If thou doest these things, show thyself to the world. For neither did his brethren believe in him.
Go ahead and read.
Then Jesus said unto them, My time is not yet come, but your time is always ready. The world cannot hate you, but me it hated, because I testify of it that the works thereof are evil.
Go ahead and read.
Go ye up unto this feast. I go up, yet I go not up yet unto this feast, for my time is not yet full.
Well, we're going to find out that he did really go up to this feast, but this is about something else, but we're not going to deal with that. Go ahead and read when he talk about his time is not yet come, because he died on a high day as well.
That's right.
Go ahead and read on.
When he had said these words unto them, he abode still in Galilee. But when his brethren were gone up, then went he also up unto the feast, not openly, but as it were in secret.
Now, this is the Feast of the Tabernacles we're dealing with here, isn't it? Now, skip down to verse 14. Go ahead and read.
Now, about the midst of the feast, Jesus went up into the temple and taught.
Now, not only did he go up, but he went up and he even taught. Now, skip down to verse 37. This is the Feast of the Tabernacles that we are dealing with here. Remember, the Feast of the Tabernacles, the whole thing is 8 days, isn't it?
That's right.
You know, you feasted 7 days, and then on the 8th day, you had the solemn assembly. But that was dealing with the Father's kingdom when he's going to come and he's going to dwell among man. That is the last day. Ain't that the last day?
That's right.
And the book said the first day and the last day, didn't it?
That's right.
Or the first day and the 8th day, didn't it? So the 8th day is the last day, isn't it?
That's right.
Now, skip down to verse 37. This is why it's called that great day, because the Father is going to dwell with man at this time. Go ahead and read on.
And the last day.
And the last day. Go ahead and read on.
That great day of the feast.
And what feast are we dealing with here? The Feast of the Tabernacles, aren't we? And the last day, that great day. When is the last day? It is the 8th day, isn't it? And it is the great day. You know why it's the great day? Because the Father going to dwell with man.
Right.
You know, Jesus done dwelt with man before. Because he talked about, you know, dwelling among you again. He said, if I go, I will come again. That meant that he was here dwelling at one time, right? But the Father ain't never dwelt with man. That's why it is called that great day. The last day, that great day. Go ahead and read on.
Jesus stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. So
now I just wanted you to understand what day we are dealing with. The last day, that great day of the feast, and the last day is the 8th day of the feast, and it is called the great day because the Father is going to dwell with man. So that is what it is, this 8th day of the Feast of Tabernacles is all about, because I tried to make it very clear that this 8th day is a part of the Feast of Tabernacles. Thank you, and I hope you have understood this lesson.